Well, surprise, surprise, here it is, February. Somebody brought me 2 leaf blowers. He said that one didn't run and that one did. He wanted it tuned up and running. But I got them both to run, so I'll just change the hoses, priming bulb, the filters, spark plug, and give it back to him. So that was easy. And then right after that, I got a message, hey, are you open today? I got a pole saw. So I tell you, as soon as the forecast is for a bit warmer weather, everybody decides, hey, this is the time they're going to do all their yard work, even though it's February. That's all right. They'll make a little money. So, I mean, I just said in yesterday's video, I think it was yesterday's video, that, you know, the season would start earlier, but I didn't think it'd start in February. So, I see all the time, just so you know, I got notes today, so I'll be looking off camera a bit. I like to warn people. So, I see all the time in the comment section of YouTube channels of lawnmower repairs, on Facebook, and even YouTubers themselves that will claim that the older mowers were so much better. And I just fundamentally disagree on so many aspects. There was one guy who was talking about oil filters, and in the old days you didn't need oil filters. Well, I disagree. Yeah, they probably should have had oil filters. So the first thing I always look at is ease of maintenance, ease of work, doing the work. And I think today it's just so much easier to work on a lawnmower than it was in the 80s and the 70s. I had an old mower pull John Deere come in here last summer twice, and had an old, can't think of the name of the engine, but anyway, it was engine. And the way they designed these was basically from the inside out, and they just kind of built it up. And you spend 4 hours taking off all the shrouds and getting everything out of the way just so you can get to the carburetor. It took me 4 hours to get all the stuff. The frame of the tractor, the shrouding, all of it. The hood. 4 hours. But if I wanted to take the shroud off of this, it's like 4 bolts. I mean, that's just not hard at all. So, as a matter of fact, the zero turns are harder than the riding mowers, because you got to sometimes take off the side panels here to get to certain things. So, I mean, but still, that's just a bolt. So just the ease of working on is better. And then in the older ones, they had those points and condensers for your ignition system. And those, I mean, were very finicky. Always went out. And you were always having to replace them and adjust them and all that. Well, today they just have one unit. It's an ignition coil. And that's all there is to it. You just replace the ignition coil. Well, here's what one looks like for a chainsaw. It's not a multi-part system. It's just one thing. That's it, just one piece. Gap it at 10 thousandths. So much easier. And then we talk about, okay, well, the old machines, they're so much better. They're just so much better. They lasted longer. And I really don't know what they're talking about. They didn't last longer. So I got a story. So my dad and I rebuilt an old 1960-something wheel horse. It was smoking up a storm. I mean, Dad had me, he worked at this mower mechanic shop, and they had a barn up the hill. And he had me drive that down from the barn into the shop the day that we were going to work on it. We were going to work at it that night. And it was just a huge cloud of smoke. And I couldn't see. And I had to cross the road. And I just shut it off and let the smoke clear so I could see if there was anybody coming. It was terrible. I mean, here I am 10 years old and I just could not see. So the rings had went bad. Well, in those old Kohler engines, I know this is going to sound amazing. Oh, they should do that again. You could remove the cylinder sleeve and replace it with a new one, put new rings in there, and it's all sealed up. Well, that's just got to be a better idea. Well, that tells me something. You're telling me a lawnmower that's 15 years old is smoking that bad. And simply because they knew they had a bad design, they decided to design it so that you can remove the cylinder sleeve and put a new one in. That's what that was. Here's the thing. In today's engines, you can't simply rebuild it quite that easy. I mean, you can rebuild them. I mean, you can bore it out, make it fresh, and oversized rings and the whole thing. So, I mean, it's not like you can't do it on these new ones. It just doesn't have this removable sleeve. That doesn't make it better. The problem with those older machines was the metal was weaker. And let me see if I got, like I said, I got notes here. So the metallurgical myth, the sleeve argument. The old Kohlers had the removable sleeves because they were built to last forever. That's the myth. The removable sleeves are the systematic patch for inferior, soft, gray cast. That's what it was. It was soft metal, so they had to make them removable so you could replace them. Modern engines use high silicone aluminum alloys and Niscal coatings that are significantly harder than the old iron ones. And that's true. I mean, when I worked in manufacturing, we had these hardness testers and everything. You had a little diamond thing and it would scrape back and forth and would tell you the hardness. Or was that no, the hardness tester was a jab. That's what it was. The diamond scraper was to tell you how smooth the bore was. But regardless, you get the idea. So, I mean, you have to, there's specifications to it now. Back then, they just hope and, with a dream that they could get it right. So the sleeve isn't a feature of the quality. It was a confession of wear. They knew it was going to wear. Modern metal has moving parts that needs replaceable walls because these base metals don't fail if the oil is clean. And that's a big deal, is the oil. So people will blame these new engines for being inferior. But what I have always noticed is the lack of maintenance is what causes the failures. Now, if you look at a Kohler and you say, okay, well, I can replace the sleeves if I do lack of maintenance, but on a newer engine, I can't do it. Well, like I said, you could bore it out. But yeah, that's technically true. Either way, you have damaged the engine significantly with lack of maintenance. Low oil, bad oil. If you're running bad oil, you're going to have to replace all the bearings and everything. But if you just have lack of oil, you're going to blow up the old engine or the new engine. It doesn't matter. It's not going to run without oil. It's not going to run very long with bad oil or dirty oil. Then we come to the oil itself, and you think, oh, that's synthetic. That's just garbage. That's just garbage oil. Well, no, that's actually not true. The synthetic is superior oil, and that's why you can actually run things longer between oil changes now. Back in the old days, the 25 hour oil changes. Now it's up to 50 or 100 hours. And there's a lot that goes into that thinking. Every time you start an engine, the metal in the engine wears and it flakes off just a little bit. It's like a powder, and it gets into the oil. Well, today's engines, a lot of them, like this one here, has an oil filter, and it collects that metal up. In the old engines, it wasn't collecting the oil up, or the metal up. I said oil. It collects that metal up. In the old engines, it didn't have that filter, so there was nothing to collect the metal. So in between oil changes, that oil was collecting metal and recycling it back in the engine, and it was like just abrasive. It was just really wearing out more metal. So it was accelerating the wear. But we're having an oil filter. So I watched this YouTuber. Back in the old days, they didn't have oil filters. You don't need them. That's just a waste of money, an oil filter. Well, no, it's not a waste of money. You are complaining that the new engines are junk, but now you don't even want to put an oil filter on it to keep it lasting longer. The rebuilds on old engines, it was like every few hundred hours. But new engines can last up to 2,000 hours if you just do the maintenance on them. Oh, they're just all throwaways nowadays. Everything's a throwaway. Well, it's a throwaway because you're not doing maintenance on them. And it's so bad, people don't do maintenance on them, that Briggs & Stratton has engineered an engine that you don't have to change the oil for the life of the engine. You have to keep adding oil, But you don't have to change oil because they know you don't change it. So that doesn't make it a bad engine. It makes it a bad maintenance. And then there's this myth about, let's see, what else is there? There's this myth about Briggs & Stratton engines. That one there, that John Deere has the engine that we're talking about here. It's a single cylinder engine. And there's a deep compression mechanism on the camshaft. And those are notorious for breaking. I've showed you one many times before. See if I can find it real quick. This is the camshaft. And down here is a part, this one's broke, that swings out. And so it's missing, it's gone. So people will say, well, that's junk. Those things break all the time. And the reason they break is because of lack of maintenance. So when you look at oil changes, as the oil gets dirty, it wears the lobes on that camshaft. Let me show you that again. Maybe I shouldn't have put it away so fast. It wears this lobe. And the more that wears, now your valves have to travel farther. Well, that decompression actually keeps the valve open while you're trying to start it. That's what it does. So as this wears, it causes more of a gap in between the decompression mechanism and the valve itself. And so now it's starting to snap. Instead of just gliding, it's snapping. And since it has to snap because the lobe is wore out, it will eventually break under those high RPMs. So the reason the lobe wore out is because of lack of maintenance. Dirty oil, all that metal accumulating in the oil. Except those have oil filters, so that's not the key. But the carbon, all of it. And every time I see a broken decompression mechanism, all you got to do is pull out the dipstick and you will see just tar on it. So no, that's just lack of maintenance. Once again, if you keep your machine properly maintained, you will minimize the problems up to 2,000 hours. And then, so we got the oil filter. Then we have things like magnetic dipsticks nowadays, or little magnetic plugs you can put on the side of the engine on the bigger ones that don't have oil filters. And you can put those in there, and that collects that metal also. So it works as an oil filter. It's doing what the oil filter is supposed to be doing. So there's technology available, better oils available, better metal available. As long as you do the maintenance, the thing's going to last a ton longer than those old engines. Just because they built the old engines so you could rebuild them easier doesn't make them better. It just makes them less rebuildable. Is that a throwaway engine? No, if it's lasting longer, it's not throwaway. If you're doing the maintenance. I guess if you're lazy, a lazy mechanic, and that's what we're talking about is mechanics who get on there and say, oh, they're just not as good as they used to be. If a lazy mechanic isn't doing the proper maintenance, then that's true. But I've talked about that ASUP generator. It's got 700 hours on it, so a normal lifespan of that generator should be about 5 to 1,000 hours with 100-hour oil change. So I'm doing 25-hour oil changes, and it's starting like new. I mean, it runs like new. I will probably never have to adjust the valves. Even though it says I'm supposed to adjust the valves every 100 hours, I haven't touched them. And I probably won't have to touch them because I changed the oil, and so those lobes on the camshaft are not wearing at all. I got a magnet in there that collects that little bit of wear that you get, so it's not wearing more. So I just don't see it. First of all, like I said, they're so much easier to work on. I mean, just adjusting the valves, for example, on new engines is a matter of taking the cover off and 2 bolts. That's it. Whereas with the old engine, you had to take the valve off the machine, grind it down, put it back in there, and you just kept doing that back and forth, back and forth. That's a nightmare. And if you ground off too much, oh, it was just a nightmare. Then you got to lap the valves, and they're just, You're constantly just working on these things, and that's better. I don't understand better then. I just don't get it. So if you'll click this up next box, take the video over my other channel, and we'll be working on a weed eater, I think. So hope I can inspire you to think it through so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.